back to Deb's big backyard on the road. I'm Deb, and you know, with the first frost behind us, my vegetables are pretty much kaput. And so I have had to set my sights on a different kind of a landscape, one that's pretty and serene, has a lot of trees, and other things planted in it. People. Sorry for the pun, but I am in a cemetery, and it is the Halloween season after all. And it is also the third Sunday in October, where very soon Tale of the Tombstones is about to set off. It is the annual event of the Historical Society of Oak Park and River Forest. This year their theme is Civil War. Let's go meet some vets.
I am Richard S. Thane. I was born in 1845 in Scotland and immigrated in 1845 with my brother Alexander and joined the 96th Illinois Volunteer Infantry Regiment and served during the American Civil War for a period of 3 years. My age at enlistment, I was 18. I was really 17, but I lied about my age. My brother Alexander was 22, so he was legally able to join. I was not, so I lied. This is hardtack.
What's that?
Flour, water, salt. And because it's square, that's where the term square meal comes from. And it's hardtack because this would have sat for months, and the only way it was edible was to dip it in coffee.
It's a beautiful, very somber outfit you're wearing. What is it that you're wearing?
I'm wearing a mourning outfit. It's full mourning. Basically, as a widow, I was supposed to wear a veil to hide my grief and wear black because it symbolized spiritual darkness.
Yes.
So everything I have here, everything is handmade. I made every piece of this outfit. I learned how to do knife pleating this year. I was so excited. And I covered all the buttons, and so everything is knife pleated. And like I said, I taught myself.
What does knife pleated mean?
It means that it looks like little blades. The way it's folded, it's supposed to look like little blades. And yeah, I taught myself tatting this year so that I could make this outfit with all the lace and stuff on it.
What does tatting mean?
Tatting, it's a form of needlework.
Oh wow.
Sometimes they call it poor man's lace, but I couldn't afford real lace, so I made the lace myself.
As far as you're in mourning, in full mourning, that means that you're in full black,
I'm
right?
in full black with the veil over my face. Generally, I'm not receiving visitors. I'm not going out. I'm not supposed to be working. I'm not supposed to be doing anything. I'm just in mourning.
It's so nice to meet you, Major Crummer.
Well, I'm so glad you came out to see what we're all about. It's fun to see people come out interested in people who were affected by the Civil War 150 years ago. I was living in Joe Daviess County when the war broke out, and President Lincoln called for volunteers. And just about everybody in town rallied to the cause. I joined up with the 45th Regiment of Illinois Volunteers, and we fought with Grant and Sherman. And I wrote a book about it.
Oh wow.
It's called With Grant at Donelson, Shiloh, and Vicksburg. I didn't go any further than Vicksburg because I got plugged through the chest by a rebel sharpshooter, and that ruined my day.
Wait. You mean you were actually shot in the chest?
Yeah, through the chest, yes.
And you didn't die? Well, you're dead now.
I'm dead now.
And you're back.
I lived
What happened?
I lived to talk about it. Another 57 years I talked about it.
You may have heard of my grandson, Ernest Hemingway. He was an Oak Parker as well, until his mother kicked him out of the house, which is a whole nother story. This is my colleague and compatriot, Percy Hobbs. He is visiting from Natchez, Mississippi. He actually moved up here to try to find a job. We fought together in the 95th Regiment during the Civil War together.
The war became more than just preserving the Union. It became about ending once and for all that horrible and peculiar institution of slavery. You ask me, it's about time. Well, I mean, France abolished slavery in 1769, and England did it in 1830. Lieutenant Hemingway said that the Tsar in Russia freed his serfs as slaves, freed his serfs in 1869, for gosh sake.
And Percy knows that the Hemingway family were abolitionists, and we joined the Union fight to end slavery. It was a horrible system. As a matter of fact, my father-in-law was was a farmer out in Ogle County by the Rock River, and his house was on the Underground Railroad.
Well, Frank, I had a great time today. I met some mourners, I chatted up some vets, and now what else do we need to know here about this cemetery, historically speaking?
Well, I mean, historically speaking, it was set up as a very park-like cemetery. The winding roads, a lot of individual grave sites have beautiful plantings, some of which remain and some of which are gone at this point in time, but beautiful large trees. This time of year, you see the sugar maples turning color. I think in the Oak Park area, we often talk about the diversity. This cemetery is very diverse. There's small little grave sites, there's unmarked graves for that matter, and then there's massive monuments. It's kind of a cross-section of life, and that's one of the neat things about walking through the cemetery. There's individual people that you recognize their names because you live in the Oak Park area, and you go, oh yeah, I know that person. And you also see some hints of some of these stories that we try to bring to life every year at the cemetery. I think the best history is telling a story, because that's really the ancient roots of history, is just sitting around the fire and swapping stories. And I think this kind of event makes history a little bit more, literally, I know it's funny at a cemetery, you know, history come to life. There is a chance to see these people's stories. So there's actually a lot of different layers to the cemetery's history. Right. And that's what good history is, not just one layer. It's like multiple layers that kind of come together, I think.
Well, that sounds great, and I had a wonderful time seeing the trees turning, walking through the greens of the grass here, and I think that about wraps it up for Deb's Big Backyard. I'm Deb.
I'm Frank.
And this has been Deb's Big Backyard on the Road. See you next time.